Hey guys, it's Marshall Mathers the Fourth here, back to you today with another video. And in today's video, I will be talking about the things that George Lucas should have changed, updated, upgraded, and fixed in the special edition re-releases of the original Star Wars trilogy. And I just want to start out this video by saying that, honestly, I love the fact that he made and released special editions of the original Star Wars trilogy films. I mean, I'm glad he did that. And he actually did update and upgrade and fix a lot of things that were definitely worth fixing, updating, upgrading, like certain special effects or certain like scenery scenes or whatever and whatnot. But there were a lot of things that he added that were just really fucking stupid and just pointless, unnecessary, ridiculous, dumb things that literally made no sense at all whatsoever in him putting in or adding or including in the special edition re-releases of the original Star Wars trilogy films. Like, a lot of things, honestly, that he added in those versions of those films made no logical sense at all whatsoever. Like, for example, how he added and included a lot of CGI, like, creatures or characters in the special edition re-releases of the original Star Wars trilogy films made no sense. No logical sense whatsoever. And I honestly don't know why he would do something so pointless and unnecessary like that. And the only thing that I can honestly think of and reason why he probably did that is because he probably, if anything, wanted to make the original Star Wars trilogy films just as bad as the Star Wars prequel trilogy films. I mean, knowing how much hatred he got and how much backlash that he got for the Star Wars prequel trilogy films, I can honestly see why he would probably have wanted to kind of mess up certain things about the original Star Wars trilogy films, so that way they would be kind of like equal to each other or on the same par of like things that literally make no sense being added or included in like the special edition re-releases of the original Star Wars trilogy films. And it's not like he just added a lot of unnecessary and pointless CGI creatures and characters, but he also added and included like extra stormtroopers, which is and was really unnecessary and pointless. And he would also add other unnecessary pointless things, like in the scene where R2-D2 is hiding after Luke Skywalker gets like knocked out by the sand people, or the whatever they were called in Star Wars A New Hope. And then Obi-Wan Kenobi comes to like scare them off or whatever. In that scene, R2-D2 is hiding behind a rock. And in the special edition, like, well, he's hiding in like sort of a cave. And then in the special edition re-release of that film, George Lucas adds just an extra rock, which was just so pointless and unnecessary of him doing. Like, I mean, I guess it's not such a big deal that he did that, but at the same time, it's like what a waste of something to add and include, which honestly brings no benefit at all to the special edition re-release of Star Wars A New Hope. And also, another really unnecessary, pointless thing he added was a different Obi-Wan like scream. Like in Star Wars A New Hope, also renamed to Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope, ever since the prequel Star Wars trilogy films started being released. in the original Star Wars A New Hope, Obi-Wan Kenobi had a certain like scream or yell or something to scare away the Tusken Raiders. That's the name I was looking for. The Tusken Raiders, who knocked out Luke Skywalker, and he did this sort of yell, scream sort of thing to like scare them off and make them run away and like scatter. But then in the special edition re-release of Star Wars A New Hope, or Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope, he added really stupid, bizarre, just really strange and odd scream or yell that he made Obi-Wan Kenobi's character do, as if the original one was like bad or something, and it wasn't. Like, it makes no sense at all whatsoever why he would want to have changed that instead of just keeping it the same as the original. And another really unnecessary, pointless thing that George Lucas added and included in the special edition re-releases of the original Star Wars trilogy films is that during the scene where Luke Skywalker goes to Jabba the Hutt's palace to sort of threaten Jabba the Hutt, there's pretty much a really stupid, pointless, unnecessary, dumb, retarded, ridiculous scene where there's sort of an updated, upgraded like concert or whatever, if you will. During that scene, there's a weird, creepy, messed up looking alien sort of female creature singing a really just lame fucking song that just will drive you nuts. And of course, it's in the special edition re-release of Star Wars Return of the Jedi, or Star Wars Episode 6 Return of the Jedi. And you know what's honestly sad about it too? George Lucas himself actually, and this is what really pisses me off, he actually destroyed all of the original versions of the Star Wars original trilogy films so that you can never find them. Like, he destroyed all of them so that the only versions of the original Star Wars trilogy films that are available are, sadly and unfortunately, the special edition re-releases of the films. And, you know, when I said, like, earlier in this video about how he added and included a lot of, like, CGI creatures and characters that were never there in the original trilogy because the special effects weren't obviously that good in the 70s or 80s, and CGI didn't even exist back then. At least I don't think it did. And like, he added a scene when Obi-Wan Kenobi and Luke Skywalker are going to Mos Eisley to go to the cantina place to meet Han Solo. He added a scene where the stormtroopers stop them to do like a checkup, and then there's this really just unnecessary, pointless, like dinosaur looking creature that walks right in front of the screen. Like, George Lucas, are you trying to annoy and irritate the original diehard fans of the original Star Wars trilogy? Are you trying to piss them off? Because that's certainly what it seems like to me. I mean, honestly, I just don't know why or understand why he would have put that or included that. It's just, it drives me crazy. It aggravates me, as it does, like, pretty much most people. And there's also a really pointless, unnecessary scene that he added and included in the original Star Wars trilogy where Han Solo is being called out by Jabba the Hutt, and Han Solo says, "I'm right here, Jabba. You didn't think I was gonna run, did you?" And then Jabba the Hutt is like talking to Han Solo. And what's funny about that scene, that was never in the original Star Wars trilogy when it was first released back in May 25, 1977. actually that scene was done and filmed by this like Irish actor who actually did one hell of a job. Even though he knew his scene was going to be cut, he still gave it just his A game. And I actually liked seeing like a human-like version of Jabba the Hutt. And he was like an overweight actor or a big actor. And of course, in the special edition re-release of Star Wars A New Hope, George Lucas put a CGI Jabba the Hutt over the human actor, pretty much. Whatever the actor's name was, I don't know, and I never bothered to look it up, but it's just so stupid and it drives me insane. It literally drives me berserk, knowing that underneath that just really terrible looking CGI Jabba the Hutt is like a human actor. And then because it was actually a human actor in the real version of that scene, there's a scene where Han Solo walks kind of around Jabba the Hutt, circles around him, but knowing that Jabba the Hutt is like this alien slug-looking creature and has, of course, a tail, George Lucas made Harrison Ford as Han Solo just kind of step on his tail. But it just looks so odd and off. Like, it looks hilariously bad. It makes you honestly cringe that he had to, like, kind of, using special effects, make Harrison Ford as Han Solo, make it look like he was stepping over Jabba the Hutt's tail, even though he was actually not doing that in the original, like, scene of that film back in the 70s. And also, another really stupid, unnecessary, pointless, ridiculous, dumb, retarded, bullshit scene that George Lucas added and included in the original Star Wars trilogy, but the special edition re-release of the film, is that during the cantina scene, after Han Solo talks to Obi-Wan Kenobi and Luke Skywalker and like makes a deal with them or whatever, there's a scene where Greedo, of course, comes to Han Solo to expect him to pay up for Jabba the Hutt, to give Jabba the Hutt the money that Han Solo owes him. And in the original version of Star Wars A New Hope, or Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope, of course, we all know that Han Solo shot first. But in the special edition re-release, George Lucas makes Greedo shoot first, and then Han Solo, like, as Harrison Ford, like, really weirdly just jolt to the side, like, really quick. Like, unnaturally, like, something that would not even be humanly possible. Just, like, he jolts across, like, the wall to, of course, dodge the bullet that Greedo shoots at him, and then, of course, he shoots Greedo. And it just looks so odd and off, especially because every diehard fan of the original Star Wars trilogy, myself included, know very well that in the original version, Greedo did not shoot first. Han Solo shot first. And that is a fact. No matter what George Lucas wants to say, at the end of the day, it was a fact. And it's just really sad. He screwed up and fucked up so many things about the special edition re-releases of the original Star Wars trilogy. Because the things that he, honest to God, should have fixed should have been things like this. He should have updated and upgraded the scenery. I would say first of many things, like make the sky look more up to date and upgraded, fixed, and more like modernized, to make all three films in the original Star Wars trilogy look as though they were like more modern films, or came out either after the prequel Star Wars trilogy films, or even like just a little bit before. Like update and upgrade and fix the sky, which he did, and even other sceneries to make it look more like, of course, modern. update and upgrade the spacecrafts or whatever used in the original Star Wars trilogy, which he did do, which was a great thing, but there were certain ones that he should have updated and upgraded and fixed more. Like, for example, the ATT walkers or something. I think they were called the ATT walkers in Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back or Star Wars Episode 5 The Empire Strikes Back, when they're on Hoth, the kind of snow planet. I think they were called the ATT walkers that kind of look like dog robots. I really feel like George Lucas should have updated and upgraded those things, or whatever you want to call them, to make them look more modern or whatever, or more up to date, if you will, especially knowing that they look really out of date. And also, the thing that I would even say more that George Lucas should have updated and upgraded should have been the special effects of the lightsabers, is what he really should have focused on. In my personal opinion, if you look at the special effects of the lightsabers in the original Star Wars trilogy films compared to the prequels, and especially the Disney Star Wars sequel trilogy, they look really out of date. They just look really awful and horrible. They look terrible. They look so bad. So very bad. And it would have been awesome if George Lucas, like, honestly, out of anything that he could have fixed, updated and upgraded in the original Star Wars trilogy films, I would say it should have been the lightsabers, the special effects of the lightsabers. Like the lighting of them, the width of them, and maybe even the sound of them. That would have been just something really great to update and upgrade and fix. Because, for example, there's a scene in Star Wars A New Hope, or Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope, where when Luke Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Han Solo, Chewie, or Chewbacca, C-3PO, and R2-D2 are on the Millennium Falcon, and Luke Skywalker is training with his dad's old lightsaber. And the special effects of it look so outdated. I mean, they just look awful. And the lightsaber during that scene doesn't even look blue. It looks like white. I mean, it looks literally like a white glow. And even the width of the lightsaber, like laser blade or whatever you want to call it, looks just way too skinny. Just honestly way too skinny, when it should have looked more thicker, like in the Star Wars prequel trilogy films. And it would have just been so awesome and so considerate of George Lucas to have mainly focused on updating and upgrading and fixing the special effects of the lightsabers, like the lighting of them, the width of them, the sound of them, and just make them look more up to date, more modern. And I would say then, after that, update and upgrade like the scenery in all three of those movies, the other special effects such as like the spaceships or the spacecrafts or whatever, or space vehicles in the original Star Wars trilogy, including the ATT walkers during Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back, or Star Wars Episode 5 The Empire Strikes Back during the Hoth battle scene. And those honestly would be the only things that, if I were George Lucas myself, I would have updated and upgraded or fixed myself. And honestly, those are the only things he should have fixed. Things that actually would have mattered and made sense to have updated, upgraded, and fixed, and made look more modern, and made the films all around look like they were more modern or newly released films. Even though they would be old, he could have easily fixed, updated, and upgraded things that actually mattered. And it's sad that he didn't do that. and that he missed out on such an awesome opportunity and chance to have actually like gone back and fixed, updated, and upgraded things that would have actually mattered and made sense. But he didn't do that. And it just pisses me off that he didn't do that, especially knowing that he totally fucked up the special edition re-releases of the original Star Wars trilogy films. I mean, he literally screwed the shit out of them, screwed up the shit out of them. And I know I'm not the only one who's pissed off about this. There are so many YouTubers who have made countless videos complaining about this and just making rants about this and just being really upset and disappointed about it, as they should be, because George Lucas should know and like recognize and realize that I fucked up. I screwed up the original Star Wars trilogy special edition re-releases of those films, as if the prequel Star Wars trilogy films weren't already bad enough, and if I didn't already get enough backlash from those films. No, clearly not. I have to go back and ruin even the better trilogy, being the original Star Wars trilogy. I just can't believe he would do that. And honestly, if I were him, I would not have even touched the original Star Wars trilogy films. If he wasn't going to focus on, fix, update, and upgrade the special effects that actually mattered and that he should have fixed, updated, and upgraded, that would have made the most sense. He should not even have bothered to touch them. Or he should have asked somebody else to do it, like, I don't know, James Cameron or something. Someone who actually genuinely cares about fixing certain special effects about old movies that would actually made them look newer and even better than when they were originally released and came out. I mean, that's honestly what I would have done if I would have been George Lucas, but unfortunately he didn't do that. And he just really missed out on such an awesome opportunity and chance to actually have expected or asked or came to somebody who actually would have been so much better at fixing and updating and upgrading the special effects of the original Star Wars trilogy films. Because, again, I'm glad that he made special edition re-releases of those films, and there are certain things that he did update and upgrade that actually were great. But there were a lot of things, and for the most part, he added and included a lot of just bullshit, unnecessary, pointless things that literally made no sense at all whatsoever, instead of actually focusing on things that would have actually mattered. Again, being like mainly the special effects of the lightsabers throughout each of the three films, and the special effects of like certain spacecrafts or space vehicles or whatever you want to call them in the original Star Wars trilogy, and fix, update, and upgrade the scenery, making it look more modern and like realistic or whatever, instead of adding a bunch of like stupid CGI creatures or characters that weren't even there in the original trilogy when it was first released. And instead of adding a CGI Jabba the Hutt over a original human actor who filmed the scene back in the 70s. Like, just keep that scene out. I don't know. But anyway, let me know what you all think in the comment section down below. I'm out.